Welcome to the Spirit of Christmas Challenge, hosted by Second Chance Ohana. In the spirit of Christmas, a group of furniture flippers are flipping these pieces to be donated to charity, because we all know it's better to give than to receive. Thanks, Second Chance Ohana. This makeover starts with a mid-century modern cabinet that was given to me. I don't know much about mid-century modern furniture, but Stowe & Davis sounded like a good name, and I looked it up, and it was definitely a reputable furniture company from Grand Rapids. It needed a key for the lock, so I replaced that. 1959. Very good year. So I cleaned it up, and it was really pretty clean. Used Dixie Belle's White Lightning and rinsed it with water, of course. I love the clean lines and shape of this. It was in pretty good shape, but it was definitely a little nicked up. Inside, the shelf was really a mess, so I knew that was going to get painted, and it had to be removed. There were pocket holes drilled in, so I had to remove the shelf that way. Next, I got to sanding. I sanded the bottom portion around the base and also the top because I wanted to stain those parts. The sanding went pretty easy and the old finish came off readily. And then I went to work on the top. I had the piece on its back on wheels for a while to work on it, and then I flipped it upright. Again, the sanding went very easily and no stripper was required to remove the old finish. Using Dixie Belle's stain in walnut. Giving the stain a stir because it's an oil-based and sometimes it'll separate. And I'm just using an applicator pad to apply the stain and then to wipe it back using the other side of the pad. I also use stain on the little piece of wood that surrounds the handle. I had a very graphic design in mind, but I wanted to highlight this wood as well. Here's the other part of the handle. It was brass and it wasn't the best as far as shiny, so I had to restore that. And I'm working on that lock. So I bought a new lock for $10 because it had a key. It was much cheaper than finding a key for the old lock. And the only problem was that it didn't quite fit down into the same recess. So I had to file a little bit to make room for the new lock. Success. Now I use an old crock pot and some vinegar and water to get that handle soaked to see if we can get it shiny again. Again, I used apple cider vinegar, and I think I should be using white vinegar. Regardless, we let it soak. I say we, but it was just me. Time to check the soup. I used the brush to scrub it a little bit, and it definitely looked brighter, but it sure wasn't exactly what I was aiming for. So I also did a live on Dixie Belle's Silk All-in-One Mineral page, and I thought what a perfect time to paint this cabinet. So I'm using black sands and just painting that base, and I have a graphic design in mind for the door front. I like this color. It's really a nice deep gray. The all-in-one mineral paint is awesome because you don't need a primer, especially since I used a dark color. And I had just given it a scuff sand before I started painting. And that's really all you need to do. I left most of the wood as is on the inside, but I painted the bottom and then of course painted the shelf that I had removed. So I'm using those little supports that hold your project up when you're working on something flat. And I paint that stained shelf. Of course, I cleaned it and did a scuff sand. I wipe off the excess dust from the sanding. and paint it out with the same dark sands color. And just like that, those stains are gone. And now I'm going to work on the door. I already gave it a base coat of the black sands, and I taped off a design to give it an extra little punch, and I'm just holding up that handle to illustrate what it'll look like when it's finished. So now I am using Wharf, and when I removed the paint, I kind of did it in a hurry for my video, so I really didn't let the black sands dry long enough. So after I removed that, I did take a small artist brush and touch up my lines to get them to be crisp once again. So do as I say, not as I do. Let your paint dry before you apply painter's tape. Silk can be deceiving because it kind of dries top down, so you might think that it's dry enough, but it might not be. And I just finished out along that line for a second coat. And now I'm applying the stain to that little wood part of the handle, and it takes the stain beautifully. A little messy, but it looks great. Onto that handle, I bought some Brasso, and I'm going to polish that handle and really make it shine. It cleans and polishes. It's really pretty simple, and wow, what an impact. I can't believe how much dirt came off of it even after the soaking. Then I took a finishing pad and just buffed it to a nice shine. Now we're talking. So remember what our cabinet looked like before? And here's our presentation. This is Lisa Han from Family Services Incorporated, and today we're presenting you with this piece of furniture, and you can give it to someone in need. So if you could tell us a little bit about your organization?
Sure. One of the primary things that Family Services does is make sure that people have housing. We have a homeless shelter that serves men, women, and children. We have a shelter that serves teens, and a drop-in center there, as well as services for victims of domestic violence who are also looking for safe places to live. So that being the biggest part of our agency, we look forward to being able to help people out with the things they need when they move in somewhere.
That's good. And sometimes when you're in that position, you might get something that's kind of hand-me-down or run-down piece, so it makes me feel good to be able to present somebody with something that's been refurbished. And it was made in a very good year, 1959. That's when I was made, so.
Yes, and it will truly be appreciated, because as you said, people often get other folks' hand-me-downs, and it's certainly not in this nice condition.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thanks again to Second Chance Ohana for hosting this challenge and making so many people happy. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, how about giving it a thumbs up and also share it with your friends? If you haven't subscribed, you'll want to do that so you don't miss anything. Visit us at lavintagedecor.company, and on Instagram we're LaVintage Decor, and on Facebook we're LaVintage Decor Altoona. Stay well.